serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
The summer heat can be difficult to bear even for roads in town, and with rising temperatures, it can result in the buckling of pavement.
Valley News Team's Katie Opperly pinpoints the current buckled roads in the FM area so that you can stay safe.
Summer heat is not forgiving and can cause some major problems as it impacts our roadways. As the pavement heats up, it begins to expand, but has nowhere to go, causing the road to buckle.
They generally happen on extremely warm days. Lots of sun and the pavement temperatures warm up to over 100 degrees.
It's already begun to happen around the FM area, with 2 locations in Fargo on 25th Street South and 42nd Street South. 1 location in West Fargo on a private street by the Menards, and at least 1 location in Moorhead on 8th Street close to the interstate. When the road buckles, Lee Anderson with Fargo Public Works says it creates a real hazard for drivers if they aren't paying attention.
When you're traveling and before they've marked and you're one of the first few to come upon those, they can sneak up on you and they can be quite dangerous, especially on the interstate system where speeds are a little faster.
It can damage your car and even lead to car crashes if you aren't prepared.
They can cause some real damage and they're a real concern.
Fargo Public Works says people need to slow down and pay attention so that they can spot these road buckles before it's too late. In Fargo, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
An official with Fargo Public Works tells us they have plans to fix the 2 buckled streets later this week.
We have a travel alert for those of you who travel on 25th Street South in Fargo. Beginning tomorrow, the right lanes on both north and southbound routes of the 5600 block of 25th will be closed. Once repairs are done, the lane closures are then going to transition to the center lanes. The road is expected to fully reopen by June 21st.
This is the second year nearby construction zones are encouraging something called the zipper merge, but it is the first year it's in the middle of a heavy traffic construction zone.
And officials say misuse of the merge was the root of Friday's large accident on Interstate 94. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkevich hits the road to find out the correct way to zipper merge and whether folks in the FM area know it.
Do you know what a zipper merge is?
Yes, I do.
Many in the FM area say they know the zipper merge, but officials say the backup causing Friday's I-94 wreck was from not doing it right.
Traffic was coming to a stop very far back from where the actual construction zone is because traffic is just driving in one lane instead of filling up both lanes.
When used correctly, the zipper merge should actually be safer and can reduce congestion by up to 40%.
We encourage the zipper merging. It's something that's changed in our construction zone in the last 2 years.
So how does it work?
You take turns letting people in.
Is it better to get right into the right lane and then wait your turn? Or is it better to stay in the left lane and kind of alternate in one by one?
I prefer to get into the right lane and take turns that way.
I would say merge before you even get to the closed section.
Actually, it's the other way.
A zipper merge is used when we have, let's say, a lane closure. So stay in both lanes until you get close to where that lane closure is going to be and then merge together.
Is that surprising to you?
It is.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, it does.
As this video by Alberta Motor Association shows, when drivers get right over to the open lane, it causes backup, not to mention ill will to those who see it as cutting ahead.
The goal is to not create a backup, or if we have a backup, it doesn't extend so far back away from the construction zone.
That's why it's recommended to utilize both lanes, hence creating a zipper effect. Do you think you'll change how you do it now, or?
Eventually, but old habits are hard to break.
Luckily, Driver's Ed is keeping younger drivers updated on the correct way.
A zipper merge is the way to go from 2 lanes to 1, where you use the entire length of the open lanes before merging so that more cars can pack in and it backs up less far down the highway.
Josiah Ferguson says he caught his mom doing the zipper merge incorrectly, but taught her the right way. In Fargo, Rose Itzkevich, Valley News Live.
North Dakota's Highway Patrol says many of us drivers are accustomed to the old way of merging. Prior to 2 years ago, signs in construction zones said not to pass after a certain point. But now the goal of the zipper merge is to fill up both lanes and then, as we reported, alternate.
After watching his daughter and grandkids struggle with domestic violence, a Fargo man says it is time local leaders take the issue more seriously. Michael McMorrow says his daughter and her children have been caught in a cycle of domestic violence for more than a decade. The family has worked with police to end the abuse, but officers can only do so much. His daughter's abuser has been charged with domestic violence and violating protection orders 8 times already.
With a restraining order, it keeps escalating and escalating and escalating until someone gets hurt or killed. And that's, in my case, is what's happened with my daughter.
There is an opportunity for the current system to reform. The state is evaluating a domestic violence court in Grand Forks. If it is effective, advocates have hope the practice will spread throughout the state.
There's some confusion and fear tonight on the Spirit Lake Reservation. It follows the discovery of human remains on the reservation a few days ago.
They have been identified as 39-year-old Joseph Bruce of Grand Forks, who was missing since last year. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard talked with some people on the reservation who tell us they feel left in the dark about this investigation.
Joseph Bruce, originally from Grand Forks, was last seen on June 25th, 2018. On Sunday, human remains were found in a secluded area in between sloughs on the Spirit Lake Reservation.
There have been things that have happened in this lake region, and namely things that have happened south of Devil's Lake that we're not always privy to.
Yeah, that is a little strange, but you know, well, I'm not sure what to say about it.
Nearly 1 year ago, family members told Valley News Live they thought Bruce was murdered. They say they were told Bruce likely ran away. The locals we spoke with say they can't imagine what Bruce's family is going through.
So I have a daughter, and so her obviously missing for a year would be a big concern of whether was she taken or, you know, something tragic happened. It would be tough to live with for a long time.
It'd be wonderful if somebody would come forward and say, hey, I know some information, and would tell the police. We're concerned about people like this, the ones we especially love, because we don't want them to be abducted. We don't want them to be taken advantage of. We don't want terrible things to happen to them.
Fritz says it's important as parents to make sure children tell them when and where they plan to be so that when they get older, they're able to make smart decisions on their own. In Devil's Lake, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
The investigation is being led by the FBI, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, as well as Devils Lake Police. If you have any information on this case, you should call Devils Lake Police. The phone number is on your screen, 701-662-0700.
New research is shedding light on the role air pollution in Minnesota plays on your health. The report says 5 to 10% of deceased Minnesotans die partly because of air pollution. Over 2,000 premature deaths, 800 emergency room visits, and 500 hospital stays were attributed to Minnesota air pollution. Another big finding is that pollution levels are higher overall in southern Minnesota. Officials warn that seniors, those with heart or lung conditions, and children with asthma are most likely to be affected by poor air quality.
President Donald Trump showed reporters at the White House a piece of paper today that he claims is a secret agreement with Mexico to stop Central American migrants heading to the United States. Today, Mexico's foreign minister repeated his plan to send 6,000 members of a newly formed National Guard to areas known to be migrant routes, an effort to stem the flow of asylum seekers to the U.S. Mexico has 45 days to prove its plan will work or go back to the negotiating table.
North Dakota lakes are still showing signs of winter. Winter kill is due to a lack of oxygen in water systems, and it can lead to a mass killing of fish. Experts say this year is standing out due to the heavy snow.
Well, this year was probably a little bit higher than what we would have liked to see, higher than normal for sure as far as winter kills around the state on the number of waters that we saw winter kill on. The severity of the winter kills were worse in some of the waters that we've had winter kills in the past.
9 North Dakota lakes have been classified as total winter kill. Despite the loss, the heavy snow has led to more water, which will benefit the lake populations in the coming years.
Here's why that's such an important topic. We want to show you some evidence of teenagers loving to fish. Dozens gathering tonight for an organizational meeting of the Lake Agassiz High School Fishing League. It's brand new this year and includes high school teams from North, South, and Davies in Fargo, along with West Fargo and Cheyenne in West Fargo.
And it's really an opportunity to give students the opportunity to experience the outdoors, to experience fishing as a sport, and to experience it with their peers, to learn about fishing techniques, to learn about conservation, sportsmanship, and really have the opportunity also to have some competition involved.
These teams are non-curricular clubs, which means the league is not a school-sanctioned sport and does not receive funding from the school district.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Into the overnight. Let's take a look at my microphone here. Looks like, okay, there it goes. Is that better? Check 1, 2, check 3, 4. Yes, okay, so the sky cam out there showing still twilight here in the FM area, a few clouds out overhead, and all in all, things are absolutely beautiful. Still 61 degrees. Wind, though, it's going to be pretty persistent during the overnight hours at 15 miles per hour. That's transporting some air from the north. But today, high temperatures here in the Southern Valley, not bad. 77 Wahpeton, 78 Fargo, 75 today in Grand Forks, as we did get up to seasonable averages here for many of us. It's 55 in Cavalier, a cool pool up north, 55 as well in Devil's Lake. And off in western Minnesota, 56 for the Badette area, 53 in Bemidji and Fergus Falls right now. 57 degrees. Here's those showers, the leading edge of which heading in toward the Twin Cities right now. After passing through St. Cloud, we still have some showers in the southern Red River Valley, Richland County and Roberts County in South Dakota, seeing the majority of the activity. Otherwise, just a few clouds that we saw on the Skycam there moments ago. And these showers are heavy and they're moving to the south and east at 25 miles per hour. So it will not be too awful long here before they vacate the viewing area. And as we take a look at your regional picture, we do see more activity off to the west. Here we have this cool pool of air sliding down, and it's butting up against some warmer air out to the west, and that boundary is going to stay out to the west as we go through the day tomorrow. Overnight, I pause this at 5:30 in the morning, Mike, in case you want to get an early start on mowing the grass. 39 in Langdon and 40s elsewhere. A cool and breezy start to the day, mostly sunny skies as we head out the door on our way to work out there. Notice that any shower chances will be along that boundary between this cool pool here in the valley and western Minnesota and out in the western Dakotas. As we go through the first half of the day, I think it'll be the windiest. We'll have some gusts over 20 miles per hour between mid-morning and early afternoon. Then the wind should start tapering off a little bit. And because our wind is from that cool northerly direction, we'll see temperatures peak mainly in the 60s across the board for a much cooler afternoon. But I do think the afternoon will be perfect to get outdoors and enjoy, because the wind will be in most locations a lot lighter than it had been through the remainder of the day. It does look like temperatures will fall off fairly quickly tomorrow evening, making it comfortably cool. So starting out in the mid-40s, rising up and spending several hours in the mid to upper 60s rather, under crystal clear skies. North winds lower in the latter half of the day. 60s everywhere, as mentioned. Some of the coolest air though in central Minnesota. Our storms today, one of which was up near the Hillsboro area, was a slow mover. Heavy buckets of rain falling out of this one right here. Some virga on the left side. Your hour-by-hour forecast looks like this. Thursday, we spring back a little bit, 74 degrees. And then as we head into Friday, things warm up, but the storm chances return. Those last into Saturday. Cannot rule out a Father's Day sprinkle here or there, but by and large, the weekend looks great for grand old dad. And a couple of items of note, you guys. We have 10 days till the day with the most hours of sunlight. Then the days start getting shorter. And just about only 20 weeks or so until that first snow falls.
Okay, let's go back to mowing at 5:30 a.m.
No, I had trouble hearing him, much like we did earlier in the cast.
We don't want to talk about winter.
Selective
Thank
hearing.
you. Anyway, up next on Valley News Live at 10, testing is underway on a vaccine that could one day help with Alzheimer's disease.